The hotel front desk called my room at 3 a.m. to tell me that 3 people just asked for my room and they're coming up right now. I shot upright in bed, instantly awake. The desk clerk's voice was shaky, apologetic. Sir, I'm sorry to disturb you, but 3 individuals just demanded your room number. They seemed very insistent and wouldn't take no for an answer. Security is delayed, and they're already heading to the elevators. I was on the 12th floor of the downtown Holiday Inn for what was supposed to be a routine business trip. My company sent me to audit the Portland branch office. Standard procedure, nothing exciting. I'd flown in yesterday, done my meetings, grabbed dinner alone, and crashed around 11 p.m. What did they look like? I whispered into the phone, already pulling on clothes. 2 men, 1 woman. Professional attire. They claimed to be from your company's legal department and said there was an emergency. The clerk paused. Sir, they knew your full name and employee ID number. My blood went cold. I worked in accounting for a mid-sized insurance firm. We didn't have emergency legal situations that required 3 a.m. hotel visits. I told the clerk to call 911 and hung up. That's when yesterday's weird moments started making sense. During my audit, I'd noticed discrepancies in the Portland office's books. Nothing major at first, just small amounts that didn't add up right. But the more I dug, the bigger the numbers got. Someone had been moving money around, hiding it in accounts that technically existed, but served no real purpose. When I'd asked my contact Lisa about it, she got nervous and said she'd have to check with her supervisor. An hour later, Lisa came back and told me those were legitimate business expenses that I didn't have clearance to review. She suggested I focus on the standard monthly reports instead. But I'd already taken pictures of the documents with my phone. Around lunch, I noticed a black sedan in the parking lot with 2 people inside watching the building. When I left for dinner, the same car followed me to the restaurant. I thought I was being paranoid. Now I could hear voices in the hallway outside my door. 3 people talking quietly, but I couldn't make out the words. I grabbed my phone and backpack, stuffing in my laptop and the USB drive where I'd saved copies of everything I'd found. The voices stopped. Someone knocked on my door, not aggressive, but persistent. Mr. Davis? Portland Police. We need to speak with you about a security matter. But I could see through the peephole that none of them were wearing police uniforms. One man in an expensive suit was holding something in his hand that looked like a hotel key card. I moved to the bathroom window, 12 floors up, but there was a fire escape on the building next door, maybe 6 feet away. I could hear them trying the key card on my door. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. We know what you found. Delete everything. And this ends quietly. That's when I realized the Portland office wasn't just cooking their books. They were laundering money through fake accounts, and the amounts I'd uncovered were just the tip of the iceberg. Someone high up in my own company was involved, which explained how they knew exactly where to find me. The hotel door clicked open, and I heard footsteps entering my room. I don't hesitate. The bathroom window slides up with a screech that seems deafening in the quiet room. Behind me, I hear a woman's voice. Check the bathroom. I push through the window frame, my body half dangling 12 floors above the street. The fire escape on the adjacent building looks impossibly far away now that I'm actually trying to reach it. 6 feet of open air separates me from safety, with nothing but concrete below. There's no time to reconsider. I hear footsteps approaching the bathroom door. I plant 1 foot on the windowsill, bend my knees, and launch myself across the gap. For one terrible moment, I'm suspended in nothingness. Then my hands slam into the metal railing of the fire escape. Pain shoots through my shoulders as I scramble to pull myself over, my legs kicking wildly in the air. I roll onto the platform just as I hear shouting from my hotel room. He's on the fire escape. Next building. I don't look back. I race down the metal stairs, my footsteps echoing in the narrow alley. The fire escape rattles and clangs with each step, announcing my location to anyone listening. 3 flights down, I hear the window of my room slam fully open and more shouting. Call Daniels. Tell him to bring the car around. The black sedan. They're coordinating. I reach the bottom landing and pull the ladder release. It drops with a deafening clang, and I slide down to the alley floor. My ankle twists as I land, sending a sharp pain up my leg, but adrenaline pushes me forward. I sprint through the narrow passage between buildings, emerging onto a side street I don't recognize. Portland at 3 a.m. is eerily quiet. I turn right, away from the main avenue where the black sedan might be circling. My mind races faster than my feet. The discrepancies in the books, Lisa's nervousness, the fake accounts, it all points to something much bigger than I initially thought. I spot a neon sign ahead. Rosie's Diner. Open 24 hours. Perfect. The bell above the door jingles as I enter. An older waitress looks up from wiping the counter, taking in my disheveled appearance and wild eyes. Coffee? She asks, unfazed, like she sees people running for their lives every night. Please. I manage, sliding into a booth with my back to the wall, facing the entrance. My hands are shaking so badly I can barely unzip my backpack to check that my laptop and USB drive are still secure. The waitress brings over a steaming mug. Cream? Black is fine, I say, my voice steadier than I feel. Thanks. As soon as she walks away, I pull out my phone. My fingers hover over 911, but I hesitate. This isn't a simple break-in or assault. This is corporate fraud, possibly at the highest levels of my company. I need someone who understands financial crimes. I search for the Portland Police non-emergency line and call it. After explaining I need to report a potential money laundering operation, I'm transferred twice before reaching the financial crimes unit. Detective Martinez, a gruff voice, answers. I take a deep breath and launch into my story. The audit, the discrepancies, the threatening visitors, and my escape. I can hear the skepticism in his silence. So you're saying your own company is laundering money through the Portland branch? He finally asks. Yes, I have documentation, accounts that serve no purpose, money moving in patterns that make no sense for legitimate business. And these people who showed up at your hotel, you're sure they were from your company? They knew my employee ID number. That's internal information. He sighs. Look, Mr. Davis, I supply. Mr. Davis, this sounds serious, but I need to see evidence before I can take action. Can you come to the station in the morning? Say 9 a.m.? I agree. Hanging up as the waitress refills my coffee. Through the window, I see a black sedan cruise slowly past the diner. My heart nearly stops, but it continues down the street without pausing. I pull up my company's website on my phone, then search financial news related to the firm. Nothing obvious jumps out until I modify my search to include investigation and fraud. A small article from 2 years ago mentions a regulatory inquiry into one of our subsidiaries that was quickly dismissed. The subsidiary operated in 3 cities besides Portland. I dig deeper, searching court records and financial filings. Patterns emerge: shell companies, circular transactions, large sums broken into smaller transfers. This isn't just embezzlement, this is systematic money laundering on a massive scale. My phone buzzes with another text from the unknown number. You're making a mistake. This goes higher than you can imagine. I swallow hard and type a response I hope will buy me time. I have everything backed up off-site. If anything happens to me, it all goes public. I hit send, knowing it's partially a bluff. I have the evidence on my laptop and USB drive, but nothing truly off-site yet. The black sedan passes by again. Slower this time. I shrink back in my booth, but the driver's eyes seem to scan the diner's windows methodically. I can't make out the faces inside, but I know they're looking for me. The coffee turns bitter in my mouth as I realize the truth. I'm not just dealing with corporate fraud. I've stumbled onto something people are willing to kill for. And they know exactly who I am and what I've found. I need to survive until morning. I need to get to Detective Martinez with my evidence. And most of all, I need to figure out how high this goes in my own company before whoever is in that black sedan finds me. I arrive at the police station at 8:45 the next morning, exhausted from a night spent moving between 3 different diners, constantly watching for the black sedan. My laptop feels like it weighs 100 pounds, carrying evidence that could get me killed. The Portland Police Central Precinct is busier than I expected, officers moving purposefully through the lobby. I approach the front desk, clutching my backpack. I have an appointment with Detective Martinez, I say, trying to keep my voice steady. Financial Crimes Unit. The desk sergeant makes a call, and 5 minutes later, a stocky man with salt and pepper hair approaches. His badge hangs from a chain around his neck. Mr. Davis, he extends his hand. Detective Martinez, follow me. He leads me through a security door into a maze of desks and interview rooms. We settle in a small conference room with blinds that he immediately closes. You look like hell, he observes, pouring coffee from a carafe. Sugar? Black is fine, I say. The same answer I gave the waitress last night. I didn't sleep. Martinez sits across from me. Tell me about these fraudulent accounts. I open my laptop and pull up the spreadsheets I'd compiled, turning the screen toward him. The Portland branch has been creating shell accounts for non-existent clients. Money flows in from corporate, supposedly for insurance payouts, but then disappears through a series of transfers. Martinez studies the screen, his expression shifting from skepticism to interest. How much are we talking about? In Portland alone, about 12 million over the past 18 months. But last night, I found similar patterns in 3 other cities where we have branches. I pull up more documents. Seattle, Denver, and Phoenix. The same structure, the same flow patterns. Martinez whistles softly. That's a sophisticated operation, and you think your company executives are involved? Someone has to be. These transfers require authorization codes that only upper management possesses. He takes notes, occasionally asking clarifying questions. After nearly an hour, he leans back. By the way, I sent an officer to your hotel this morning to secure your belongings. His expression darkens. Your room was completely ransacked. Mattress sliced open, bathroom fixtures removed. Even the air vents were dismantled. My stomach drops. They were looking for my evidence. Looks that way. Hotel security footage shows 3 individuals entering your room around 3:15 a.m. They stayed for almost 2 hours. Martinez slides a folder across the table. We got these from the cameras. The photos show the same 3 people who came to my door, 2 men and a woman. Their faces are clearly visible now. Do you recognize any of them? Martinez asks. I shake my head, then stop. Wait, the woman. I think she works in our legal department at headquarters. I've seen her in the elevator but never spoken to her. Martinez makes another note. What about... My phone buzzes with an email notification. From Lisa. My heart races as I open it. I know what you took. The message reads, they're saying you stole company data to sell to competitors. They've frozen your accounts and filed charges. Whatever you think you found isn't what you think. You need to stop before they stop you permanently. I show Martinez the email. Lisa was my contact at the Portland office. Sounds like they're setting you up, he says grimly. Classic intimidation tactic. What do we do now? I need to get this to the financial crimes team and coordinate with FBI. He stands. You'll need protection until we sort this out. Let me arrange. His phone rings. He answers, listens, then his expression hardens. When? Are you sure? Lock down the building. He hangs up. Black sedan just pulled up outside. 3 occupants. My blood runs cold. How did they find me? Your phone, Martinez says immediately. They could be tracking it. Power it off, now. As I reach for my phone, the building's windows explode inward. The sound of gunfire fills the air, followed by screaming. Martinez shoves me to the floor, drawing his weapon. Stay down, he shouts, moving toward the door. More gunfire. Martinez jerks backward, clutching his shoulder as blood seeps through his fingers. He stumbles against the wall but stays upright. Back exit, he gasps, pointing down a hallway with his good arm. Through the evidence room. Officer Chen will get you out. You're shot. Go, he barks, positioning himself by the door. Take your laptop. I'll hold them here. I grab my backpack and laptop, crouching low as I run down the hallway Martinez indicated. Behind me, I hear Martinez radio for backup, his voice tight with pain. The evidence room is a maze of shelves and locked cabinets. A young officer, presumably Chen, waves me toward a metal door at the back. Detective Martinez sent me. I pant. I know, she says, punching a code into a keypad. There's a patrol car waiting in the alley. The door opens to a narrow concrete stairwell. We descend quickly, the sounds of chaos fading above us. At the bottom, Chen pushes open another door to reveal a small parking area enclosed by brick walls. Get in, she orders, pointing to a patrol car with its engine running. As I slide into the back seat, my mind races. The company knows exactly where I am and what I have. They're willing to shoot up a police station to get to me. This goes higher than I imagined. The patrol car pulls away from the station, sirens silent. I power my phone back on long enough to send one text to Jake Mercer, my colleague in the accounting department at headquarters. If anyone can help me understand how deep this goes, it's him. Need urgent help. Company laundering money. Portland office compromised. People trying to kill me. Call this number from SecureLine. I add the number of the burner phone I bought last night at a gas station. I power off the phone again and remove the battery for good measure. The patrol car turns onto the highway, heading out of downtown Portland. I have no idea where we're going, but I know one thing for certain. My life, as I knew it, is over. And the only way forward is to uncover exactly how high this conspiracy reaches before whoever's in that black sedan finds me again. The patrol car takes me to a nondescript motel on the outskirts of Portland, where Officer Chen hands me a new burner phone. Detective Martinez arranged this before everything happened. Stay put, someone will contact you. After she leaves, I pace the small room, checking the window every few minutes for black sedans. My mind keeps replaying the gunfire at the police station. Martinez clutching his bleeding shoulder. I wonder if he's okay. The burner phone rings 3 hours later. Davis? It's Jake Mercer. Relief floods through me at the sound of my colleague's voice. Jake, thank God. Did you get my message? Yeah. Jesus, what the hell is happening? There's FBI agents at headquarters right now. The whole accounting floor is locked down. It's worse than I thought. I say, sitting on the edge of the bed. The Portland branch is laundering money through fake accounts. I found similar patterns in Seattle, Denver, and Phoenix. There's a long pause. Davis, listen carefully. Jake's voice drops to a whisper. This goes all the way to the top. CEO Blackwood is personally authorizing these transfers. I've been tracking unusual payment patterns for months, but I didn't know what I was looking at until your message. My stomach drops. Blackwood? Are you sure? Positive. His digital signature is on authorization codes for every suspicious transfer. But it's not just embezzlement. I think they're washing money for the Salazar cartel. The name hits me like a physical blow. The Salazar cartel is responsible for thousands of deaths across Central and South America. I need somewhere safe to analyze the data. I tell him, somewhere off the grid. My family has a cabin about 40 minutes outside Portland. No one knows about it except my ex-wife. He gives me the address and entry code. There's a laptop in the desk drawer. Password is taped to the bottom. Thank you. Don't thank me yet, Jake interrupts. If what I'm seeing is accurate, we're both dead men walking. The burner phone rings again an hour later. Detective Martinez, his voice strained but steady. I'm okay, he says before I can ask. Bullet went through clean. How are you holding up? Barely. My colleague at headquarters confirmed CEO Blackwood is personally involved. They're laundering money for the Salazar cartel. Martinez swears softly. That explains the firepower. Listen, I've brought in the FBI. They're coordinating with financial crimes units in Seattle, Denver, and Phoenix. We're building a case, but we need your evidence. I tell him about Jake's cabin, and he promises to send an agent to meet me there tomorrow. Stay low, stay quiet. Don't use your credit cards or regular phone. These people have resources. The cabin is exactly where Jake described a small wooden structure nestled among towering pines. Inside, it's basic but comfortable. Living room with a fireplace, small kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom. Most importantly, it feels secure, hidden from the world. I find the laptop and boot it up. For the next 18 hours, I barely sleep, piecing together the full scope of the operation. The Portland office was just one node in an elaborate network. Money flowed in from legitimate insurance claims, then disappeared through a series of shell companies before landing in offshore accounts controlled by the Salazar cartel. The numbers are staggering. Not 12 million as I initially thought, closer to 80 million across all 4 cities. And the pattern goes back 3 years. FBI agent Wilcox arrives the next morning. A tall woman with sharp eyes and a no-nonsense demeanor. She brings news that makes my blood run cold. We raided the Portland office yesterday, she says, accepting the coffee I offer. Arrested 12 employees, including your contact, Lisa. Most were low-level, probably didn't understand what they were facilitating. And Blackwood disappeared. Private jet left for Mexico City yesterday morning, but he wasn't on it when it landed. We have alerts at all border crossings and airports. I hand over the USB drive with my compiled evidence. Everything's here. Transaction records, authorization codes, shell company registrations. Jake helped me identify the entire network. Agent Wilcox plugs the drive into her secure laptop, scrolling through the files with increasing interest. This is exceptional work, Mr. Davis. With this, we can freeze accounts across multiple jurisdictions. My burner phone rings while she's still reviewing the evidence. Unknown number. I hesitate before answering. Hello? It's Lisa. Her voice is barely above a whisper, trembling with fear. They let me make one call. I told them I was calling my mother. Lisa, where are you? The FBI raided the office. They took me before that happened. I'm in some kind of warehouse. I can see water through the windows. I think we're near the docks. Her voice catches. Blackwood is here. He's furious about the raid. He keeps saying someone named Salazar is coming to clean house. My eyes meet Agent Wilcox's. She's already on her phone, mouthing trace the call to someone on the other end. Lisa, can you describe anything else you see? Any landmarks? There's a red crane outside. I can see shipping containers with Chinese writing, and her voice drops even lower. Oh God, they're coming back. Please help me. I didn't know what they were doing, I swear. I just did what my supervisor told me to. The line goes dead. Agent Wilcox is immediately on her feet. We've got a location. Portland Harbor, East Side, Warehouse District. She's already moving toward the door. Detective Martinez is coordinating with tactical teams. Stay here. It's not safe for you two. I'm coming. I interrupt, grabbing my jacket. Lisa called me. Not you. She trusts me, and I know what Blackwood looks like. She looks like she wants to argue, but nods curtly. Stay behind me at all times. If I tell you to drop, you drop. Understood? The drive to Portland Harbor takes 30 agonizing minutes. We meet Martinez and a joint FBI police tactical team in a staging area 2 blocks from the target warehouse. Martinez's left arm is in a sling, but he looks determined. Thermal imaging shows approximately 8 people inside. He briefs us. 4 clustered in what appears to be an office space, 3 moving around the main floor, and 1 stationary figure we believe is your contact, Lisa. The plan forms quickly. Simultaneous entry through 3 access points, with Agent Wilcox and Detective Martinez leading the main assault team. I'm to stay in the command vehicle with a communications officer, ready to identify Blackwood if they spot him. The raid begins at precisely 3:17 p.m. Through the tactical team's body cameras, I watch as they breach the warehouse doors, shouting commands. The main floor is filled with company-branded shipping containers, our legitimate business providing perfect cover for whatever's hidden inside. Clear the office! Martinez's voice crackles through the comms. The camera feeds show the team moving through the warehouse. They find 2 armed men who immediately surrender. A third tries to run but is quickly tackled. We've got drugs, one agent reports. Looks like cocaine, professionally packed in company product shipments. Then I see her Lisa, zip-tied to a chair in a small side office, looking terrified but alive. Relief floods through me until I hear Martinez's urgent voice. Blackwood's on the move. East exit. He's got a hostage. The feed switches to an exterior camera. CEO Blackwood, a man I've only seen in company newsletters and annual meetings, is dragging Lisa toward a waiting SUV, a gun pressed to her temple. His perfectly tailored suit is rumpled, his normally composed face contorted with desperation. All units converge on East exit. Agent Wilcox commands. Hostage situation. Approach with caution. Through the chaos of radio chatter and multiple camera angles, I watch the tactical team surround the exit. Blackwood spots them and pulls Lisa closer, shouting demands that I can't quite make out. He's asking for a clear path to the airport, the communications officer translates. Says he has a plane waiting. I lean forward, studying the feed. There, I point to a small building visible in the background. That's the private airstrip the company uses for executive travel. If he reaches that, he's gone. Martinez's voice comes through clearly. We're not letting that happen. What follows is a tense standoff, with Blackwood slowly backing toward the airstrip, using Lisa as a shield. The tactical team maintains distance, weapons trained but unable to take a clear shot. Then Lisa does something unexpected. She goes completely limp, dropping her full weight suddenly. Blackwood stumbles, his grip loosening just enough for the tactical team to move in. The next few seconds are a blur of movement. Lisa rolls away. Agents rush forward. Blackwood raises his gun. Not at them, but at Lisa's retreating form. 2 shots ring out. Blackwood falls. Suspect down, Martinez reports. Hostage secure. I exhale a breath I didn't realize I was holding. It's over, the communications officer tells me, but I shake my head. No, I say, thinking of the scope of what we've uncovered. It's just beginning. The private airstrip is a small clearing among the trees, barely visible in the fading afternoon light. From our position behind a maintenance shed, I can see Blackwood's jet fueled and waiting, its sleek white body gleaming. 2 men in dark suits stand by the stairs, scanning the perimeter. That's Blackwood's personal plane, I whisper to Martinez. He uses it for client meetings in Mexico and Colombia. Martinez nods grimly, his injured arm still in a sling. Makes sense. The perfect transport system for both cash and product. Agent Wilcox's voice crackles through our earpieces. All units hold position. Target is approaching with hostage. Through the trees, I see an SUV speeding down the access road, kicking up dust. It screeches to a halt beside the jet, and Blackwood emerges, dragging Lisa with him. Even from this distance, I can see the terror on her face, the gun pressed against her ribs. I want a clear path to that plane, Blackwood shouts, his normally composed CEO voice cracking with desperation. Anyone tries to stop me, she dies first. Martinez speaks quietly into his radio. He's unstable. We need to de-escalate. I'll handle this, Agent Wilcox responds. She steps out from behind our cover, hands visible. Mr. Blackwood, I'm Special Agent Wilcox, FBI. Let's talk about this. Blackwood jerks Lisa closer, the gun now pressed to her temple. There's nothing to talk about. I'm leaving, and she's my insurance policy. I've never seen our CEO like this, his expensive suit rumpled, his perfectly coiffed hair wild, sweat staining his collar. This isn't the polished executive from company newsletters. This is a cornered animal. Your operation is finished. Agent Wilcox calls, taking another careful step forward. We've frozen the accounts in Portland, Seattle, Denver, and Phoenix. The Salazar cartel knows you've been compromised. Blackwood's face contorts. You have no idea what you're dealing with. This goes beyond 4 cities, beyond one company. We have operations in 5 countries, government officials on payroll. You think arresting me ends this? My stomach drops as I realize the true scale of what I've uncovered. This isn't just about my company, it's an international money laundering network with tentacles everywhere. We know about the offshore accounts. Agent Wilcox continues, inching closer. We've traced the money flow to shell companies in Panama, Cayman Islands, and Singapore. Your board members are being picked up as we speak. Blackwood's eyes dart wildly between Wilcox and the plane. You're lying! Rodriguez was arrested an hour ago. Patel and Chen 20 minutes later. Your entire executive team is in custody. I see something change in Lisa's expression, a shift from terror to determination. Her eyes lock with mine for just a moment, and I know she's about to do something. The cartel will kill me anyway. Blackwood snarls, backing toward the plane. At least this way I have a chance. That's when Lisa makes her move. She goes completely limp, dropping her full weight suddenly. Blackwood, caught off guard, stumbles forward, his grip on her loosening just enough. Lisa twists away, throwing herself to the ground. In the split second of confusion, tactical teams surge forward from multiple positions. Blackwood raises his gun, not at the agents, but at Lisa's retreating form. 2 shots crack through the air. Blackwood crumples to the ground, blood blooming across his chest. The gun falls from his hand. Suspect down! Hostage secure! Martinez's voice echoes through the radio. The next hours pass in a blur. Paramedics rush Blackwood to a hospital. He'll survive to stand trial. Lisa, shaken but unhurt, gives her statement while wrapped in a shock blanket. The private jet is searched, revealing another $2 million in cash and a laptop with encrypted files that will take weeks to crack. You did good work here, Agent Wilcox tells me. As we watch the crime scene technicians process the airstrip, most people would have run when they realized what they were up against. I almost did. I admit, that first night at the Holiday Inn, when I jumped to the fire escape, part of me wanted to just keep running. Martinez joins us, his face tired but satisfied. Well, I'm glad you didn't. This case will take down one of the largest money laundering operations we've seen in years. 3 weeks later, I sit in a wood-paneled courtroom, testifying before a grand jury. I walk them through everything, the discrepancies I found in the Portland branch's books, the mysterious accounts, the money flow patterns that made no sense for legitimate business. And in your professional opinion, Mr. Davis, could these transactions have been simple accounting errors? The prosecutor asks. No, I say firmly. The pattern was too consistent, too deliberate. Money would enter legitimate accounts from insurance claims, then systematically move through a series of shell companies before disappearing offshore. This happened hundreds of times across 4 cities. The grand jury returns indictments against 27 people, including all 6 members of the company's board. The investigation expands to include corrupt officials in 3 countries who facilitated the operation. The Salazar cartel loses a significant portion of their money laundering infrastructure, and I lose my life as I knew it. Witness protection is your best option, Agent Wilcox explains in a small conference room at the FBI field office. The Salazar cartel doesn't forgive people who cost them millions. Even with Blackwood in custody, there are others who will want revenge. I think about my apartment, my friends, my career, everything I'm about to leave behind. Do I have a choice? You always have a choice, she says gently, but I wouldn't recommend trying to go back to your old life. 2 days later, I'm sitting across from a U.S. Marshal who explains my new identity, new name, new background story, new social security number. They've found me a job as an accountant at a small manufacturing firm in a town I've never heard of, 2,000 miles from Portland. You'll need to be vigilant, he tells me, sliding over a folder with my new driver's license and birth certificate. No social media, no contact with anyone from your past. The first year is the hardest. I nod, wondering if that's true, or just something they tell everyone whose life has been erased. Lisa enters witness protection too, relocated to a different state. Before we say goodbye, she hugs me tightly. I'm sorry I got you into this, I tell her. She shakes her head. You saved my life. I was in so deep without even realizing it. They would have killed me eventually. 6 months later, I'm settling into my new existence. My small house in a quiet neighborhood feels almost like home. My coworkers think I moved here after a divorce, a simple explanation for starting over that no one questions. I'm careful, just as they trained me. I vary my routes to work, check for surveillance, keep to myself. The nightmares about the Holiday Inn and the black sedan are less frequent now. Then one morning, I check my secure email, the one only the marshals know about, and find a message from an anonymous sender. The subject line is blank. The body contains just 8 words. They missed one account. The system still exists. I stare at the screen, my coffee growing cold beside me. After everything, the gunfire at the police station, the warehouse raid, Blackwood's arrest, the grand jury testimony, it's not over. I pick up my burner phone to call my marshal contact, then hesitate. What if this goes higher than we thought? What if there are people in the program who can't be trusted? I delete the email and shut down my computer. Outside, the morning sun illuminates my quiet street. Neighbors walking dogs and children waiting for school buses. Normal life continuing all around me. I check the locks on my doors and windows, then start my day, knowing that somewhere out there, the black sedan might still be searching. The money is still flowing, and I'm the only one who knows enough to follow it.